Alright, today we're going to be doing a mission on a NeoFly. We're going to be flying from Katmandu to Lukla Airport. I've got some missions already brought up in our FBO here. So we can haul 14 passengers, I believe. Let's see how many. Yep, 14 passengers. So we'll just take 12 of them with us. We'll stack these missions here. So we can go to flying. We got 3 missions here. Go ahead and fly this mission. I'll set them all up. 1,608 pounds. Plus 170 would be 1778. So we'll go here to our 1778. See, I'm just looking at this number right here, 1786. So we'll take that. So we're 8,042 pounds taking off. I put in a flight plan here. We're going from VNKT, which is Katmandu, and then we'll be flying over VNLK, and then we'll be descending into the valley here up to Lukla VNLK. Alright, we got everything set up. We'll go ahead and click fly. Alright, so we're sitting in our aircraft. So the very first thing we want to do is go ahead and click connect and fly. Make sure
Transporter from dispatch.
Everything's alright.
Passengers for the concert are waiting for you at the boarding parking. Pilot from dispatch. Boarding passenger. Please stand by.
Okay, so we're letting everybody get boarded, everybody get settled in, then we'll go to the startup procedure of the aircraft and get rolling underway. We're taking off on runway 20 with a departure to the east. We'll be flying at an altitude of 13,500 feet. If you follow the flight plan that I showed earlier in the world map, 13,500 feet is the altitude you need.
Transporter from dispatch. All passengers on board. You can ask for the clearance to take off.
Alright, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to turn our fuel on. I've got a video on how to fly this aircraft. Feel free to check it out. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and throw this up in low idle. Alright. Looks like we got a good start up. Messed up. We didn't turn our beacon light on first. We'll get docked for that. We'll turn our pitot heat on. We're probably going to need it. Navigation on. Our flight plan's already been inserted, but we do need to set the altitude, which is 13,500 feet. And we'll be setting a flight level change of 84 knots. Best performance is 110 knots, but I want to get up there quicker. So navigation set to course. Alright, and we should be set up as far as the flight situation goes, the flight computer goes. So everything's looking good. We'll go ahead and turn our inertia separator on and taxi to the runway 20. Alright, so the towers just called. They said we'd go ahead and line up on the runway. Go ahead and turn this to high RPM. Give it a notch of flaps. Slowly push the throttle forward. We don't want to go all the way forward with it. We are pretty heavy.
Bon voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
I'm just going to go ahead and pull them flaps back up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the autopilot on. Turn our landing lights off. This is the Himalayas. We'll be flying to the base of Mount Everest. Before you do a Neo flight to this airport, if you've never flown to this airport, Lukla, I suggest you do some research on it and fly there without doing a mission. In this part of the world, you want to fly to the airports before you ever do a mission to them, just so you know what you're going into. There's only a handful of people in the world that's qualified to fly into the Lukla airport in real life. These are the views that I've got set up. Try to get my head as close to the actual pilot as possible. So once we get to altitude, I'll go ahead and skip forward till we get ready to descend down the valley to Lukla, because this total flight takes about an hour. we're just about to the top of our ascent. Once we get there, I'm going to get the speed set. And like I said, I'm going to fly it to our next checkpoint, our next waypoint here. And I will bring you back when we get to the next waypoint and show you how I descend down the valley and land at Lukla. $13,500 feet. It'll get all the way to where we need to go. So we're going to go ahead and push in our inertia separator. Back off this throttle just a little bit here. You got to keep eye on that thrust. We're in some strange climates here. So our ground speed right now is 166 knots. I'm gonna go and back this propeller off to about 1850 RPM. You can see right here. Keep eye on my torque as I'm backing this down. We don't want that torque getting over. Pull back on the power just a little bit here. So we'll leave it right there. We'll leave our motor right here about 1557. See where it winds up at. Our ground speed is 176 knots. So we're cooking down through there. Our airspeed, true airspeed, is 174 knots, 173. It's varying. We're getting a lot of air coming up off of this valley here because the wind is coming out of the west, which is giving us a good little tailwind also, even though it's only 2 knots. Outside air temperature is minus 5 Celsius, so we got our let's see, airframe de-ice. We really need to have a propeller de-ice on, but I don't see where it's available on this. But it's clear skies, nothing to worry about. If we was flying through cloudy skies, I would have this inertia separator on just in case a chunk of ice come out of the clouds. Anyway, so we're looking good. I could back the power off just a little bit more, but we want to get on there. We got passengers on board. We got a few flights to make today, and Lukla's only open during daylight hours, and while the weather's great, so we got to make as many flights as we can. Anyway, I will bring you back when we get to the next checkpoint, to the next waypoint, and where we'll be turning and headed straight towards Mount Everest, towards Lukla. I'll see you when we get back. Alright, so we're getting ready to turn into Lukla here. Turn up the valley here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the autopilot off. This needs to be flown by hand. Go ahead and set our prop RPM to full. Go ahead and pull our inertia separator out. Go ahead and turn up the valley here. See, I'm bleeding off some air altitude here. This is the valley I'm looking for in front of me now. Now, if you've done the landing challenge with Lukla, you didn't have a fully loaded plane. And we don't quite have a fully loaded plane right now, but we are heavy. So we've got to have enough inertia when we land to roll to the top of Lukla without stopping. Not to mention we're going to be landing at an uphill angle, a severe uphill angle, like some sources say 7 degrees, some sources say 11 degrees. Now at this point, Lukla, let me show you real quick. Lukla's going to be right over here on the other side of this little ridge right here against the far side. Mount Everest is over here. The airport, the end of the runway sits at 9,100 feet, or thereabouts. So as I come through here, I want to be about 10,000, or about 9,600 feet, somewhere in there. We're going to go ahead and start bleeding off some airspeed because things are going to be happening fast here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to low RPM. And it just killed the motor on me for some reason. The motor started back up. That's not good. Got our motor back up and running. So we're at 9,600 feet. Go ahead and give it a notch of flaps. Big updraft there. Alright, we're at 9,600 feet. We got a wind coming out of the west at 2 knots. If you don't see it yet, Lukla's right over here.
Welcome to your new location. I'll get back to you as soon as you're in the parking.
Alright, we've landed. Find us a parking place here. Go ahead and park. Set our parking brake.
Transporter, you can open the doors and begin the disembarkation.
So our touchdown speed was 76 feet per second. Our feet per minute. Our vertical speed was 76 feet per minute when we touched down. We lost a security bonus because we didn't have our strobe lights on when we started the motor.
Transporter, all the passengers have disembarked. Good job. See you soon.
And we have completed the mission. Now you can go here to your current FBO, the VNLK, and fly these 3 missions back if you want. Up to you. That's not a very good mission there. Flight plan VNLK. And give us a good option, but anyway, that's completed our first NeoFly mission to Lukla. Hopefully I'll do one on the return trip if I get enough views. If I get 20 views on this, I'll do a return trip video back to Katmandu and show you how to take off from Lukla. Whole different ballgame. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.